Welcome to U.S. News Source Channel. As a result of the intense bombardment in Donetsk, the Russian army suffered heavy losses. It was claimed that the strongest attacks in 8 years were carried out at the front. With intense rocket fire at Russian military points, 40 Grad MLRS missiles were fired. Many Russian military points and equipment were also seriously damaged. As a result of the attacks, explosions were reported from these points and the flames rose. Moreover, on this front, it was reported that the Ukrainian army carried out powerful bombardments using Vampire multiple launch rocket systems. It has been announced that such strong attacks have not been carried out since 2014. As a result of these attacks, serious destructions occurred in Russian military points and positions. Moreover, it is reported that there are 4 Vampire launchers on this Donetsk front and can fire almost 160 missiles simultaneously. At the same time, Ukrainian rocket and artillery units in Donetsk reportedly carried out artillery strikes alongside these Vampire MLRS attacks in the morning. Bombardment of Russian military positions in the region continues. These moves cause the Russian soldiers to be very difficult and helpless. Concern reigns in Moscow. If these moves continue, it will not be possible for Russian soldiers to gain control on this front and its vicinity. In fact, the losses will increase day by day. Since these losses will be difficult to compensate, Moscow may have to resort to different solutions. However, it is known that the partial mobilization step, which was carried out as a solution before, did not bring success to the country. On the contrary, the losses on the fronts increased day by day. For this reason, it is necessary to be more careful in the steps to be taken. Moreover, the war is no longer limited only to the territory of Ukraine. Explosion sounds echoed in Russia again. Explosions were reported in the Kursk and Bryansk regions of Russia, which are close to the border. It was claimed that the Ukrainian army carried out an air attack on the Russian military points in the Klintsy region of the Bryansk Oblast. Although it was stated that Russian air defense systems were activated, it was reported that strong explosions occurred in this region. According to Russia's claims, Ukraine fired missiles at Russian military positions in this region at night. As a result of these missiles hitting, explosions took place one after another. Moreover, it was announced that the attacks against this region occurred twice in a week. Damage to the targeted Russian military points also increases the tension in Moscow. At the same time, after the explosions in this area, it was reported that the Ukrainian troops carried out a missile attack on the Russian border region of Kursk. It was stated that these missiles caused powerful explosions in the region. In addition, flames broke out after the shooting of these Russian military points, which were allegedly located about 90 kilometers away from the Ukrainian troops. It was stated that powerful explosions could be heard even from far away. As can be seen from all these developments, Moscow's defense is quite inadequate and its measures are of little use. This situation may cause Russia to try different ways. Commander-in-Chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, Valery Zaluzhnyi, stated that Russia has started to prepare approximately 200,000 soldiers as a solution to their general situation and is confident that they will launch an attack again on the capital Kiev. At the same time, he stated that he thinks Russia will launch major attacks from the south, Donbass and Belarus in a few months. In addition, Zaluzhnyi thinks that Russian troops will make an attempt to force the Ukrainian armed forces to withdraw, and they can make a second attempt for Kiev. Zaluzhnyi also stated that Ukraine needs ammunition for its defense systems and that they expect the supply of American-made long-range anti-aircraft missile systems. As it is known, if this weapon is delivered, a great advantage will be provided for Ukraine. Although training is needed for the use of these systems, it is stated that this training will also be provided. It is thought that these systems will be used successfully by the Ukrainian air defense units after the training is provided. Moreover, it is known that such systems will provide a great deal of success in the Ukrainian skies. While attacks are largely prevented even with the existing systems, greater success will be achieved in the case of longer-range defense systems, and all attacks of Russian soldiers will be prevented. Although Russia seeks different solutions, it will be very difficult to achieve success in the solutions it will try. Successful execution of the operations of the Ukrainian armed forces and the arrival of various aids from countries to support this affect the course of the war. Russia, on the other hand, suffers from the disadvantage of its inter-country relations and is sanctioned by many countries due to the war. This causes serious losses in Ukraine's lands and skies. Due to the decreasing military resources, the attack power is gradually decreasing. Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov, in his critical statements about the war, stated that he thinks the Russian army is preparing to launch a major offensive in a few months. He also thinks that the Russian soldiers spent about 3 months for these attacks and will start this wave of attacks in February, just like last year. Reznikov also reported that in response to targeting such facilities, including infrastructures and electricity grids on Ukrainian soil, Ukrainian troops successfully defended. Moreover, he stated that he believed that the Ukrainian defense forces defeated Russia in air operations. As seen in recent days, Ukrainian air defense is achieving great success. He even stated that the effectiveness of the defense systems used by these Ukrainian forces was half at the beginning of the war, but increased to 80% this month. This was achieved thanks to various systems coming from the countries and the Ukrainian troops gaining experience day by day. It is known that as more help is provided, greater success will be achieved. For this, although Russia wants to start trying different solutions, it will have difficulty in achieving success in this regard. Moreover, it is known that the available military resources are decreasing day by day. This is also due to the distribution of military equipment. As it is known, Moscow is also deploying many military equipment on Syrian territory. Many of them are located on the territory of Ukraine. But the weapons he keeps in Syria are not doing well for him or his soldiers in the war. Moreover, the increase in explosions on Russian soil in recent days will require the country to face its defense inadequacy. For this reason, strategic mistakes on the fronts bring many problems. From now on, the strategies that determine all kinds of advances and moves made by countries on the fronts will also have a critical importance in the course of the war. Importance of the steps taken in these days when the violence of the war has increased for both sides has also increased. In the long run, Russia's moves on the fronts and Ukraine's increasing power on the front will greatly affect the course of the war. If Russia's attacks on infrastructures continue, its ammunition will be completely wasted. Moreover, wasted ammunition, which is quite expensive, may cause an economic collapse in Moscow. In this case, various problems may erupt within the country. Previously, it was seen that many Russian officials left the country's territory due to the wrong decisions taken by the country's leaders and commanders on the fronts. Moreover, many commanders were chosen guilty and dismissed. Such situations cause great decreases in the motivation of the commanders and soldiers in the field. If the failures of the Russian troops continue over time, they may not be able to make a gain on the fronts. If the Ukrainian armed forces can carry out more accurate operations, the war will now proceed entirely in favor of Kiev. This will make it almost impossible for Russia to cope with its losses and compensate for these losses. In the coming days, we will be able to see more clearly in which direction the soldiers will advance and with what strategies the commanders will advance. Now, every step taken and every move made have become more important than the previous one. In these days when the violence of the war has increased considerably, the moves taken should be determined completely strategically. Otherwise, if one party makes a mistake, the other party will gain an advantage. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.